So Pokemon Unite just dropped their monthly balance patch, and overall, I gotta say I'm a bit confused by it. We're gonna go through it, see some good changes they made, some things they might have missed. But as always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and you can watch me live at Twitch TV/Maximiner. But let's get into it. So the first change we have is to Absol. Definitely a character that doesn't get a ton of play. First change, they give it lifesteal at level 5 and 9. I think that's probably a good change. Absol doesn't have much sustain without the lifesteal, so maybe later in the game he'll have a little bit. He'll be able to live longer in fights with the lifesteal. And then they make some changes to Psycho Cut and Pursuit, which are probably the less played of the movesets. Sucker Punch, Night Slash are probably played more often, so they're trying to buff the offset as they usually like to do. So Psycho Cut typically before the patch would only proc when you hit basic attacks, but now it hits off Night Slash and Unite, so the boosted damage you get from Psycho Cut applies to his other abilities, include and his autos as well. So this might be a moveset where you could play Psycho Cut with Night Slash, really go for that boosted damage on Night Slash and its Unite, uh, rather than the movement and survivability that Sucker Punch provides. And then Pursuit, they're giving it a little bit more range, a bit more movement speed. Um, I'm not sure if Pursuit's, even with these slight buffs, is going to be as good as Night Slash. I think Psycho Cut, though, could definitely see some more play with Night Slash. Next, we got Crustle. Again, they're trying to buff Rock Tomb, which nobody ever plays. It's got a slow now on its base. It used to only have a slow when you got Rock Tomb Plus, and now the plus ability is the slow is stronger. Uh, I I still think Shell Smash is going to be the better move set. Just the movement speed and the damage that you get from that. It's hard to imagine Rock Tomb even with these changes being played much. And then Stealth Rock, the projectile speed increase. I think since X Scissor got buffed, not many people are playing Stealth Rock. Uh, it's not a bad move set, but maybe this will help it a little bit. And then we get into maybe the first question mark change I'm seeing, Charizard. I think it's a pretty strong character when you play it in the jungle, but I don't think it's been overwhelming. I don't think it's played a ton. So I'm kind of shocked that they've nerfed it like they have. They've reduced the damage on flamethrower, the ratio and the base damage on the plus as well. And then fire blast, the slow is reduced. So, this has been a pretty common moveset of flamethrower, fire blast, and now you're reducing the damage and making it a bit harder to kite. That's what made this so good. You could just kite your enemies. I'm kind of surprised by this change. I don't know if Charizard really needed the hit if it was that strong. On the other hand, we have Serena here, which on the last patch, they buffed the attack stat, and I think Serena has been really strong. So they're nerfing the stomp damage, the base, the ratios, and on the plus, uh, just to tweak Serena a little bit. I get this change. It's been stomp has been so strong for a while now, so definitely want to give this a try. See, I'm sure it's still going to be a good ability, but maybe not as dominant as it was for a little stretch there. Okay, Snorlax. Here's another good change. Snorlax, I would say, not played at a very high rate. Um, he just doesn't do enough damage as your other defenders typically. So they boost his defense, special defense stat at all levels. Heavy slam cooldown by 1 second. Block cooldown by 2 seconds. That's a massive drop. Um, this was a very common build early on in the game, so maybe this zoning CC Snorlax sees a bit of a rise. Definitely worth a try. And then the Unite move cooldown. You got 16 seconds less. That's a pretty significant. I don't. It's still relatively long. I don't know if it'll let you get another Unite move off in a game. Maybe. I think that's worth a try. And then Espeon. I think this is probably the smartest move of the entire patch. When Espeon got released, it was just too squishy of a character for how little damage it did, and it just needed a damage buff across the board, and that's exactly what they did. You can see Psyshock here, ratio, base damage, subsequent hits all getting a slight buff. Beam, the stun quarter second additional, a big increase on the ratio and the base. And then stored power as well was a pretty weak move. Just the damage was not there, so they a very big jump to the base and on the additional hits. Um, so really everything except Future Sight got buffed on Espeon's kit. So I'll definitely want to give these all a try. I think Psyshock, Stored Power, maybe both of them could be viable moves now. Definitely worth a try. Pikachu, kind of a solid pick, but not. I think its play rate has probably seen it drop a bit with the other mages being added. It's still good, but they decided to give it some spell vamp at level 9. Another character that's maybe, squishy, so they're giving it a bit of survivability with the spell vamp late in games. Could be worth a try. Don't know if it's as strong as maybe a Ninetales or a Delphox, even with the spell vamp, but definitely worth a try. Okay, Mamoswine, another character that doesn't get played a whole ton, so they're giving it some massive buffs here. Icicle Crash, 2 seconds less on the cooldown. Ice Fang, down a second. And then its Unite move, that's an 11-second cooldown. So you're going to be able to spam those abilities a lot faster, apply a lot more CC pressure to the enemy team. Mamoswine's a character I like a lot, so I'm definitely going to be playing him a bunch this patch just to see whether this is enough to get him up there with the other defenders. And then last, we got Slowbro. There's a bug. I think it was pretty obvious if you tried Scald that the burn just wasn't lasting the full time. It was coming off too quickly. So Scald damage is definitely getting a slight buff here. I'll definitely want to give that a try just to see if it's worth it over Surf. Um, and that is it. Like I said at the top, there's a few good changes. The Serena, Espeon, Snorlax, Mamo. Questionable changes. Charizard. Don't know if this Crustle is going to make much of an impact, but it's more the things they didn't touch that I don't understand. Blissey, since its egg build got buffed a couple patches ago, that the healing is just astronomical. You just keep your teammates alive forever. I was really hoping that a Blissey nerf would come to its healing, but you don't see that. Um, Things like Delphox, I know it just came out, but Fire Spin every stream I seem to rant about Fire Spin, and I was hoping maybe they would give it a slight tweak, but nothing this patch. So hopefully those changes are on their minds, and maybe next month we'll get those moves touched. But that is it for this patch. Again, I'll be streaming over on Twitch, trying out all these builds, but that is it for the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.